Peace, peace, greetings, greetings, greetings. I usually don't do this like late night videos, but I don't know. I just want to relay a brief message, a little small one. First, give honor to Source, um, ancestors known and unknown. Sure, y'all can. Feel like you will hear me, but anywho, this message that I've been getting here recently is not only it's individual, but also collectively. Is that I've been hearing the invisible is now going to be visible. Now that can mean look different for a lot of people, and it kind of like relates to how, in a spiritual sense, how like the veil has been lifted, so all could be seen, all that who are um, truly are aligned with, the divine. There's just so many things. Again, that message has really been like flickering like a light on, like a light bulb in my head, or just like, the message basically like how, basically like, you know, in the word it says the first shall be last and the last shall be first. So that is how I relate to those that were, how could I say this? Like, you may have been invisible in the naked eye or in the physical, it may seem, but you have always been visible in the spirit realm. You have always been visible in the ethers, or some may say the cosmos, the heavens, however you want to see it. And what I mean by that expression is that you have always been highly ranked or vital in a sense, even though in the 3D or the lower rim or this reality, some may say, which again is now shifting so much collectively, is it's like literally like turning on a switch. It's like going from invisible to visible. And I was having this discussion, not only like with myself, I was pondering, reflecting, having this discussion also with my partner. It's like really being honest about, you know, here lately about communicating my emotions and my feelings, and really expressing to, you know, um, expressing to her like, you know, which I think is very vital for people to really, in this really a challenge, because I'm going to talk more into depth about that, um, about having someone who is an active listener, um, because that's very important to, the other videos I speak about repressed or suppressed emotions, and how it all ties into feeling invisible. Because see, a lot of things is what we have been affected by in our childhoods has lingered into our adulthood, where we have felt invisible. I expressed to my partner, it's like, I don't like to really get so much on the topic of culture or colorism, just so many things dealing with that. But I realized a lot of things that were repressed, and how much I suppressed a lot of things. I had to be blatantly honest with myself, because, those of you that aren't aware, but just how the attack on everyone gets attacked, but just the attack and bullying, in regards to, because this has happened with everybody, but in the sense of from my perception and from my experience and expressing to her like what it is to be a melanated man or a dark man with a stature as such, who's confident, who speaks his truth, who's fearless, and how that has been, how the attack on trying to devalue men in every way and or turn, you know, how that, how since my childhood, what I've experienced with women that look like me, and more so different experiences with people who didn't look like me, and how at the time experiencing how you're seeing how television, schools, and just so many things were weaponized to keep people in a loop or confusion, in a stagnant place of not really excelling and seeing past, trying to just be. And this plays a lot of into like expressing to her like, I was like, the feeling of being invisible is like if I'm not a basketball player or the next NBA player, if I'm not the next football player, if I'm not the next, outside of those two things, or, you know, what they may see as an angry man or criminal in a sense, whatever you want to, basically like the so-called Americanized narrative of what a man or a man that looks like me should be, and how that basically the stereotypes, and how now what Spirit was revealing to me is how those who were visible or popularized in a sense of or glamorized and so attached to the physical, or how they got glorified in a way physically for basically the confusion, because you're talking about people putting out a message not solely to it for you to find who you are and to really express your natural abilities and gifts, but how they also use certain people to weaponize that to keep you and other youth or people at a lower state, a lower consciousness, to where you're not elevating and really seeing the limitless possibilities that you have. So again, I'm honored to even share my own experiences. Like I said, speaking with her, it's like, you know, it's things that you can't hold back, because you're talking about things that have been repressed so long. This is a so-called country who you're seeing how at a time, and I'm seeing it crumble right before me, like this dismantling. It's like Spirit wasn't also just telling me how, how these people are falling from grace, but also the systems, the governmental structures, the foundations that were built upon this illusion of pushing this narrative of fear, control, manipulation, preying on the woundings of people and humanity. And it's like, who do we really know what people do behind closed doors? And again, this is not that's not my place to even pass a judgment. But I really feel the shift, and I know that others do as well. I'm just here to share that those of you that have felt invisible, you are visible to the Creator, to Source. You've always been visible. And it's not your fault, because I know the feeling of feeling invisible when you're, out here in the world, or especially if a lot of people who have grown, it looks different for everyone, but people who have grown up in so-called the Americas, and how so much is being purged and people are speaking, their truth. And not only their truth, the truth that, like, we also speak, their truth is also ancestral. So a part of dismantling the old is a part of people speaking up and standing in the truth to destroy and dismantle what was, for there to be anew. And it's naturally happening. So again, having to really sit with myself, and then to confidently express to my partner, like, and express to her, like, hey, the feeling of being invisible, especially how the programming and the narrative, even how people should interact with people who don't look like me, who automatically classify, because I do not care to subscribe to the word black. And I don't care how people feel about that, but no one is going to put me in a fucking box. No one's going to put me somewhere and just classify me as that, or say I have to identify as something. Because isn't that an adjective? So beyond what other people believe in and what they subscribe to, I have seen and come to my own awareness how religion, the universities, schools, these foundations have served their purpose just for all these people to come into this awareness. Because if it teaches you to not see people for who they truly are, but in a sense of what they can be, that can make anyone feel invisible. If you're not teaching the youth, if we're not encouraged to really show up as ourselves, and then you're talking about having these environments and being in these environments where people don't feel safe. You're talking about a country where people don't feel safe. You're talking about a place who bullies people. You're talking about a lot of things dealing that we have promoted, and not even actuality see the whole fucking mental illness around the fact of pushing the narrative that it's okay. I'm talking about from the bullying online, from the attacking people simply because y'all are insecure as fuck. And you're only teaching the youth to not be secure within themselves. So you project your insecurities. And y'all don't even see these people in these positions who, or the powers that were, to realize that it's all crumbling right before you. I was telling my partners, the ones that want to hold on to that will suffer and be destroyed with it. And so, again, those of you that have felt like you've been invisible, I see you. The divine sees you and have always seen you. I just wanted to relay that message because the invisible shall be visible again. And when you are visible again, that visibility will be seen for the world. The world will be able to see it. Because those that mocked you, those that attacked you, they will also be front seat. They will also be able to see the fact of, like a sister said, I don't know how many years ago, she said, they'll be able to see you, but they won't be able to touch you. See, the beauty of all of this is, again, everything serves it has its purpose. The last shall be first. And so that's the thing, from where the invisible shall be visible again. The smoke is clearing. The dust is settling. And those that have stayed 10 toes down, those that have been true to themselves, there's nothing to be fearful of in these moments. Because as you are aligned and you know that you are aligned, you know that you are divinely guided and protected by something that is far more bigger than any illusion that can be cast or anything that is trying to attack the fact of what you are here to do. You are visible. You've always been vital. It just took you to come back home to yourself and realize how much you are liberating not you, but the past versions which connect to your ancestral lineage and the future generations. This is why you were attacked and mocked, bullied. Those of you even know the experience from being in school. This is why those things happen. This is why you made it out. This is why it's so vital for you to even speak and speak your truth, because you're regaining your power again. That power that was shunned in your childhood. And even the ones that tried to shun you, the powers that were the people, even the things that tried to silence you, have no power, because their illusion of power was to try to shun you and silence you and destroy everything that you were here to create. But touch not my anointed, do them no harm. And so you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I see you. The invisible, and you know who you are, shall be visible again. And you are visible. Peace and blessings. Shalom.